Hello. How are you guys? I'm back, but I'm sick. My name is Rod. I'm an artist. I'm a designer. I'm a cartoonist. And I am sick. So I'm going to be here teaching you guys how to draw today. Hi. I'm here with Officer Mustache. Chilling right here. How are you guys doing? I have been playing pool for the last 3 or 4 days. I like to play pool. So I went to play pool in Vegas. So I went to play 8-ball. So competitive 8-ball was what I went to play. So if you guys are going to be, hello Rod, hey, how's it going, Wes? If you guys want to join our class today, make sure that you guys like the stream. Make sure to hit that like button so that Rod, even though he is sick as a clam and trying to teach you guys with snot coming out of his nose and his eye swollen and his head hurting. So this guy can feel like he's doing something. Thank you, Wes, for trying to hold down the fort. If you guys aren't aware, Wes is normally streaming before me, and he is one person that I am constantly teaching, so you guys can go and learn from him as well. I'm normally here to teach you guys the foundations of art and how you can apply those to your designs. So I teach everything from the human structure to the bodies to the faces to how to draw cute, silly things and how to use all that knowledge to be able to draw all sorts of different things. So with that being said, I would like to give you guys a chance to be able to choose what your lessons are going to be. Do you guys want to learn how to draw legs better? Those tend to be hard. Do you guys want to learn how to draw appendages like arms? Maybe the neck a little bit better. Maybe you guys want to learn how to overlap your shapes so you guys can create perspective. Or maybe just a connection point from the top in the arms. Maybe you guys just want to know how your arms come out so you guys can learn how to move them. So I will let you guys say your words and then I'll have my moderators choose whichever one is the most consistent and they just pin it so that I can start my lesson. We will start the lesson when we get to 5K likes. I'm going to have to start redoing what I used to do at the beginning of my streams just to make sure that I get my viewership numbers up, especially if this is going to be like the lost hurrah of TikTok. So if we're going to be getting this app banned, I don't know how I'm going to transition to getting free lessons to other people in other apps because the other apps don't let me record it. So I'm going to have to find a way to do that. And honestly, it terrifies me that I'm going to lose all my audience that I have built up over the years. I finally thought I had the break, you know? I finally thought I had my break and I had like the chance to do that. And then once again, the American government protecting us, right? Protecting us from making money. Protecting us from following our dreams. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of torn and I'm kind of sad because I finally have a platform to teach and I'm going to lose it. And that sucks. But until then, I'm going to give out free lessons so that you guys can have as much knowledge as you guys can. And when that obstacle comes in our way, I will figure it out because I'm a clever cookie. Faces with intents and expressions. Cool, let's do that. So, faces. And you will have to excuse me blowing my nose once in a while because I'm sick and it sucks. But otherwise I'm gonna make a mess. Okay. So if you guys want to have faces with expressions, you guys have to learn how the eyebrows and the eyeballs work together. If you guys learn how the eyeballs and the eyebrows work, you guys can get really, really cool expressions. And by changing the way that your eyebrows and your eyes interact, you guys can have all sorts of expressions. When you start adding things like a mouth, you can even go any further than that. And when you add eyelids, you go even further. And then when you get to the point where you can draw all those elements together, well, you can use those to create all your expressions the way that you want. Learning how all these things interact with each other takes a long time because there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of folding elements that are really hard to map out when they're being distorted. So there's certain ways that you guys can go. No, we're not gonna take your live. Get out of here. If you guys want to get expressions like this, I can teach you my way, and then you guys can choose if you guys want to decide to follow that or not. So the way that I like to think of my faces is like a triangle. Boom, boom, boom. This gives me access to my cheekbones, gives me access to my eyebrows, and it gives me access to my mouth space. From the side here to the side of my face, that gives me the side of my head. And from there, I can start drawing my elements like eyebrows and eyes and noses and mouths in their own relative space. Well, knowing this is one, but knowing that you can modify these things, like you can change this whole section in the top to be a different thing, but the bottom stays the same because the bottom's the cheek, the top is the eyebrow. Little things like that will eventually come into play, and then you guys will be able to play around with even more. And I call that the butterfly effect. So once you have your triangle, boom, 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 and you draw two little wings, you can do a butterfly, and you give yourself the division for your eye, and you give yourself your cheekbone. Boom, perfect, woohoo, every time. Okay, 5K, let's start a lesson. Okay, can we draw some cute animals or dragons? We can do some expressions with dragons and animals. That's fine. So, facial expressions. Okay? First, we need to identify what parts of the face we are capable of drawing and knowing where they go. So, most faces have these basic elements. They have eyeballs, pew, pew, right? And the eyeballs, I'm gonna draw them and I'm gonna draw them in where they go. Pew, pew, pew. Okay, so we have a basic structure for a head. The eyeball goes in the eye socket and it goes at the top of that little triangle. The top of the triangle is the top of your nose bridge. So whenever you're drawing, the top of that triangle is the division of where your eyebrows go and your nose. So at the top of that, boom, 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 you have your eye. Every time. So once you know that, that's where your eyes go. So boop, boop. Your eyebrow goes at the ridge of this little eye socket that you draw. So this little eye socket boop, boop, is going to be the line for your eyebrow. Then, and that can go around in any direction. You can change it, you can make it going up, you can make it changing going down, stuff like that. So this turns into this. Right? Eyebrow, eyeball. And then if you want to change the eyebrow, you can just change that line. Knowing that it's there is already like the only thing you really need to worry about. The triangle that you draw a dot, and then draw all the connecting points, and you have a nose. Because a nose is just a pyramid. Okay, so now you know how to draw a nose. If you want to draw a nose looking up, draw the dot looking up. If you want to draw a nose looking down, draw the dot looking down and connect all the dots. Boom, you have a nose in all directions. Congratulations, you leveled up. Now let's talk about what happens with the interaction of the eyes and your eyebrows. Your eyebrows are gonna cover your eye sometimes. So you have your eye socket. You have your eye right at the top. That's gonna be where the middle of the eye is. And then this is going to have a muscle. This little muscle is going to mostly be your eyebrow and a little bit of muscle structure around it that allows it to give you expressions. Now this sometimes just curves around and you don't really see it. Okay, it sits right on top, and then you have your eyelid, and you have your eyelashes, and you have everything, right? So you normally don't see that muscle. You normally only see it when it starts going down and covering a little bit of your eye. And that happens, and it's not your entire eyebrow. Sometimes the eyebrow doesn't round out around it. So that is one thing that's a little tricky. And that's going to be individual to different people. But this is what happens, and this is why I like drawing them like this. So if I draw them from a triangle, and I draw the midline for my eye, now I can draw a little butterfly, and then this line in the middle becomes where I draw two dots, and I connect the curvy line, and I connect the curvy line. Dot, dot, curvy line, curvy line. And I have myself my eyes placed where I need them every time without any sort of having to guess. And I already have my eyebrow curvature. I have my cheekbone. I have that on this side as well. And then from there, I can just start building out the rest. But at least I know that that part is going to be set in stone really nicely. So now that we know that if we draw a triangle and we draw two circles going around, we have eye sockets. Now from there, we have to start playing around with our eyebrows. Our eyebrows can come down, come up, be in between. And there's a million different interactions with them. A good exercise to do is to just draw two circles and then draw two lines and see what type of expression comes out. Two lines, two circles. And then play around with those to see how much you can actually get from them. Now, another thing that you can do is you can make these bigger, the inside, once you understand where and how the eye works, you can start changing that in. And the eye is literally just 1, 2, 3 circles, an oval, and an overlapping line. That is all an eye is. 1, 2, 3, an oval and an overlapping line. And if you just learn that, you can draw your eyes pretty cool. So now that we know that an eye is just a couple circles, 1, 2, 3 circles, now we can change each one of these circles to anything we want. If you don't want the eye to be squared, we just draw a circle, a square, and a circle. And then you have that. Or you want like reptile eyes? Okay, the circles doesn't change. This outside shape won't change because the eye is spherical. You know, it's a muscle that goes inside your eye socket. And it has nerve endings and stuff like that at the end. So that is what an eyeball is. Now the inside of it can be anything that you want, but the outside of it is always going to be round. You don't always see it because the nose is normally covering a little bit of it in the eye sockets, the eyelashes and the eyebrows, and everything else and the eyelids cover a lot of the eyeball. But in itself, the eyeball is a round shape. All right. You guys need to get me to 10. Let's make it 15K. 15K likes. And we'll continue while I take a sip of coffee. So, the eyes can be absolutely anything. Once you understand that, you can draw anything you want as eyeballs. A dot, a circle, like an old school Mickey Mouse like eye. It could be like a Pixar eye by just drawing a highlight. You know what I mean? Like everything from there, the style is up to you. Once you understand the simplicity of it, it's kind of trippy. 1, 2, 3, an oval overlapping line. And when you want to be more in depth with it, and just add a tear duct, eyelids, and eyelashes. And then you can have yourself a whole smorgasbord of cool stuff. How do you find your own style? You find your own style through understanding what you're drawing. And if you don't understand what you're drawing, you can't break it down. And if you can't break it down to simple terms, then you can't have a style. Style comes from understanding. It's the level of understanding that you have combined with your ability and dexterity to be able to make that happen. So if you don't practice with your pens and your pencils, you're not going to have that dexterity, even if you have that knowledge. But if you don't go and put it to play and you guys don't go study and you guys don't learn, then again, it doesn't matter if you know how to draw, you just don't have the knowledge to be able to apply it. So it's a combination of both of those things that give you a style. And most of the time, we have a style. We have a style that we already have. We just don't like it. And that is something that we constantly fight against. But instead of thinking that you have to change your style, how about you just learn more, refine the knowledge that you already have into something that you can manipulate, and then use that as a base to be able to come up with any other style that you want. And I'll show you guys what I mean in a second. I call that not master shapes, but I call that just my basic Sam, and I'm gonna show you guys that in a second. So for me, Sam is a simple anatomy mannequin, and that is this. That is something that allows me to draw a body in any single shape, way, or form, and I don't have to worry about guessing where anything goes. That is my Sam. If you manage to find enough information to be able to build a Sam, then you're going to be in luck because that is essentially going to teach you how to modify your bodies really easy. I'm going to teach you guys my version of Sam, and you guys can use it or not. It's perfectly okay if not. There's a million ways to build the body, and this is just one of them. And this is the RODGON way. So, Rod loves drawing characters. Rod, aka me, I love going out into nature, and I love seeing people walking around and drawing them interacting with the world. In order for me to be able to do this effectively, I needed to be able to gesture people really quickly. And if I couldn't do that, I couldn't draw them because I just wouldn't have time to. So I learned how a couple of mechanics in our body work and the placement of things, and that helped me understand how everything in a body works, including proportions and everything of the sort. So what I'm about to teach you guys is just the very, very basic elements that I use to be able to create and generate characters. Now, what I'm gonna show you and what I end up drawing at the end is going to be a little bit different, and I'm gonna explain why. What I draw like this is just the outside knowledge that I already know how to draw. What I'm gonna visualize is going to be the concepts underneath, and I'm going to teach you guys how to see that. How to see those concepts and flow so that you can use all these characters to be able to pose them in any way you want. Let's say you wanted this to be a woman instead. You can give it breasts, you can make the hips wider, and then you have a taper. And now you have more of a girl. Give her longer legs, and now you have a more realistic one. And then just learning how to bend your arms and stuff like that is part of posing, and it's very important. But I'm gonna show you guys right now. It all starts with an egg. It all starts with an egg. So the rib cage, the core of your body, is one of the most hard parts to learn to draw properly because we learn how to draw it really bad immediately, and it's effective. So when we learn how to draw, we tend to draw from boxes or circles and stuff like that, and we learn with stick figures, right? We learn with stick figures, and we learn how to manipulate shapes really simply like that. Now, this is not a bad way to go about designing your characters, but it doesn't really give you much depth, and it doesn't really give you the ability to rotate it and move it around unless you know how to create depth within this. Now, this other way, by drawing an egg, this gives you a nice round shape that you can draw little circles in. The little circles are going to consistently do the same thing that if you do on a sphere. It's going to give you grid marks. It's going to give you divisions. And if you draw a circle at the top, it gives you the perfect opening for where your head is going to go. Ba-ba, ba-ba, bam. Okay? This gives you your neck and your head in one swoop. The egg gives you your rib cage. And then the other thing that you need to figure out is how do you find where your arms go? That's actually pretty simple. From the front of your rib cage and the back of your rib cage, you draw a compass that comes out and touches both ends. This becomes the outside edge of your arm. It doesn't become your bone. It doesn't become like the midline. No, this is the outside edge of your arm now. And then you just draw volume inside, depending on how big you want. Let's say you want a big, gigantic arm instead of a skinny one, and you give volume according to that. And then the matching point right here becomes a matching point for your pectoral muscles. So those points become very important. Egg, circle, compass. Cylinder forehead. Outside edge of arm. Outside edge of arm. Volume inside, volume inside. From there, this becomes your pectoral muscle from the middle. And then you have your opening for your arm. Yo. Yeah, it's the same thing. We're all, the skeletal system is the same way. We just have different body tissues and proportions. For example, for women, you have wider hips. So you end up in a situation where your curvature, your taper happens right there. You have smaller shoulders that bring your body narrow. For a guy, you have wider shoulders and you have narrower hips. And that eliminates the taper, and it gives you a wider body. I love how you change from rectangular closed spaces to organic. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, that's essentially what I like to teach. egg, circle, compass. Outside edge of arm, outside edge of arm. The head, if you don't want it to be that small, you can always taper it, but you already know where the neck comes out because that at least gives you the neck. Okay? Women have breasts, and the breasts are a little heart that goes around that circle. And that's it. That's a little heart, and that's literally what I draw. That's how I identify boobies. All right, so my Sam also has a bottom part. The bottom part is really easy. The bottom part becomes a sushi. A sushi. Okay? The sushi is a circle, and you have to just learn to draw the outside edge, and then bring it back in. If you learn to draw the outside edge first of your body, and then you decide what volume comes inside, it's very easy to be able to come up with volume. It is ridiculously easy to connect an egg at the top of that with a circle and a compass. And just learning how to overlap your shapes a little, you can draw all the poses that you want. Because you don't have to guess where things go. Circle, outside edge, inside volume. Egg, compass, and outside edge of arm. Let's make them dancing. Yeah. A head, ear, boom, boom. And then once you figure out where your legs go, you can always change the positioning of them. Advice for overlapping. Well, okay, so that one's gonna be tricky because that's a super heavy visualization thing. But it can actually be learned by doing this. Draw a circle. Draw a circle. Connect them. Okay? Draw another circle. Connect it. Draw a circle over it. A little bit. Connect the edges. Draw a circle over it a lot. Connect the edges. And then literally just start connecting the edges like that. Go in backwards order if you want to learn how to overlap things the other way. Learning how to do this simple overlap of shapes is what's going to give you the ability to draw legs in different positions and like super foreshortened poses and stuff like that as well. So that is the benefit of just learning how to overlap things. But when it comes down to, let's say, the face and structures, that's very needed because a lot of the times your nose bridge covers a little bit of your eye on the other side. So learning how those elements overlap are very important. Learning how your cheeks overlap, how everything else kind of covers parts of your body, your chin, your mouth, your everything. The overlaps are everywhere. And then the last part of learning this system is learning flow. And that is by understanding how your body parts flow. Let's make a body from a simple circle. Your legs flow down from the outside edges. They flow down. Okay? Your legs flow down and then come in. Your arms come out and then come back in. If you learn just that simple technique of outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, going around your shape, you can learn how to move things really quickly and create different poses really quickly. once you learn how to do it with a circle, you're going to start doing it with more squarish pill shapes. And it's the same concept all the time. Eventually, you get to the point where you can draw this. You're just going to be drawing the outside edges of your shapes into the volume inside. And then you will be able to draw and gesturize things much, much easier because of it. So you're not necessarily drawing, you're going to be able to do that without thinking of all the construction. It's already going to be there. You're just not going to see it anymore because you're going to have advanced beyond it. Well, I went to a pool tournament. It was full of people, and they got me sick. So I hate human beings. I hate them. I just hate humans. They're just little disease bags of disease. And I hate being sick. I absolutely hate it because it's normally just me. Like, I don't have support. I don't have, like, someone to, like, look after me. If I die one day, I'm just going to be there, like, I'm dead. You know? So I hate being sick because it puts my life at risk. But anyways, I hope you guys learned something today. I'm sorry that I haven't been the most like in there. I have missed drawing so much over the last week. I just can't believe I got sick the moment that I got back. That is so bad. Anyways, today we learned a little bit about Sam. Hello, Sam. Sam is our simple anatomy mannequin, right? Hello, Sam. And we learned a little bit about what the egg, the sushi, and how we can identify where the connecting points are going to go for our body by just drawing an egg with a circle and a compass and a little circle with the outside edges of our legs. By being able to just draw that very simple concept, you can come up with very simple gestures, like little characters that you can pose and draw and like do everything with. Okay? This is gonna make your life drawing incredibly simple. Incredibly simple. No, you guys can't see that. Because life drawing is all a matter of just understanding those shapes and how to overlap them and stuff like that. You guys will be the sensation of your life drawing class. Because now you'll be able to draw them and you'll be able to draw the people behind them drawing them. Joined a little late, didn't catch it all. Is it going to be on YouTube? Yeah, this will be on YouTube. I have to upload every single piece of content from now on. Well, hopefully they don't. I hope they don't ban TikTok. I really hope that doesn't happen. I'm gonna be so sad if I lose my audience. I'm gonna be so sad if I lose this audience. Because that's my platform, man. Like, that's the only way I've like been able to teach properly. It's like, thank you, American government. Thank you for protecting me from my dreams, motherfuckers. Instagram sucks. Instagram is worse. I have 178,000 people. I have like 180,000 or something on Instagram, right? If I go live, I only get seen by like 15. That's it. I get 15 to 20 viewers on Instagram. It's the most painful thing to see happen. Like, it's genuinely painful for me to think that I'm going to lose my teaching platform. So anyways, I hope it doesn't happen very time soon, but hope you guys have a wonderful time. Until then, if you guys want to continue with my stuff, there's YouTube. I have it on YouTube. I have like almost 500 videos now on YouTube for you guys to learn from. Pass the word on, I guess. But yeah, honestly, it's just devastating. It sucks. But it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to go. I'm just not feeling very good. And yeah, hope you guys learned a lot. Do some eyes. Do circles. 4 circles, remember. 1, 2, 3. Give you an eye. An oval gives you your eyelid. And an overlapping line gives you your style. Okay? So if you guys learn just that, you guys can learn to draw eyes in all sorts of styles. So don't feel like eyes are the most complicated things in the world, because eyes are one of the most simple things to learn to draw in every style possible. Don't feel intimidated by it. Just go watch some videos that I've done on eyes, and you guys will be eye experts in no time. Take care, everybody. See you guys later.